Everybody jumps into squats on leg day, but that's a big mistake. Bigger weights start with control, not just heavy weight. This is pre-exhaustion training. So what is pre-exhaustion exactly? It's when you start your workout with an isolated exercise to fatigue the target muscle before moving into a compound lift. For example, instead of starting your leg day with squats, do a couple of isolation exercises on the leg extension first to warm up those quads. By doing this, my quads are already under tension before I even start squatting. So when I move into my compound lifts, my legs have to work harder through every rep. It completely changes the way the movement feels from the pump, the burn, and the activation. They're all amplified. If you've never tried pre-exhaustion before, hit that like button right now, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why it works. So the reason why I started pre-exhaustion is because when I used to do leg press or squats, I never really used to feel it in my quads. My legs will be tired, sure, but not quite the burn I'd like. Then I found out about pre-exhaustion training and I figured I'd give it a go. Instead of jumping straight into squats, I started with leg extensions. I kept the form tight, controlled the reps, and really focused on squeezing my quads. By the time I moved on to my compound lifts, my quads were already fired up and the pump was unreal. I had to drop the weight a bit, but I could finally feel the muscle actually working. So I've been training this way for about 3 years now, starting off with my leg extensions before my big compound lifts, and there's no going back. My quads have grown like never before, and the pump every session just reinforces why this method works. So when you train your muscles fresh, for example your glutes and your lower back during squats tend to take over, but when you pre-fatigue the target muscles, you make it lead the movement. That's the power of pre-exhaustion. It forces the weaker and lagging muscles to do its job. If your quads never seem to light up during squats, this fixes that. If you struggle to feel your chest in presses, pre-exhaustions make sure your chest gets hit first, not your shoulders or triceps. It also builds a strong mind-muscle connection and gives you an insane pump. By the time you start your heavy sets, your muscles are already full of blood, already activated, and that means a deeper tension and a better growth. If you're watching this video and thinking, I've got to try this next leg day, drop a comment below and let me know what your favorite pre-exhaust combo is, chest, legs, or shoulders. So here's exactly how I apply pre-exhaustion to leg day. First, I start with leg extension, 2 or 3 controlled sets, 12 to 15 reps. I'm not going heavy here, I'm focusing on contraction. Full squeeze at the top, slow release down. My goal is to pre-fatigue the quads to make the next exercise feel brutal in the best way possible. Then I move into hack squats or legs press, 2 or 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps, because my quads are already pre-fatigued. I'll use slightly less weight, but every rep feels way more effective. You can use this technique for any other muscle groups. For example, chest, start with pec flies before incline dumbbell press. For shoulders, lateral raises before going into shoulder press. For hamstrings, leg curls before Romanian deadlifts. Just remember, 1 isolation movement to targets, 1 compound movement to overload. So, I don't usually start my pressing movements with isolation exercises, but I've tried pre-exhausting a few times and the results are hard to ignore. For chest, by doing a few sets of pec fly or cable fly before your incline presses really fires up the pecs. It forces the chest to take lead during the press instead of letting the triceps and shoulders dominate. That improved activation makes every rep more effective and the pump in the chest is noticeably better. For shoulders, a quick set of lateral raises before shoulder presses hits the lateral delts first. Normally the front delts and traps try to take over, but pre-fatiguing the lateral delts keep them engaged during pressing. The result is fuller, more balanced shoulder development and better control throughout the whole movement. Like I said, this isn't something I do all the time, but when I do, it's clear that it could be useful. The muscles just feel more activated, every rep is cleaner, and the pump is unreal. It's definitely something I'm not opposed to including in the future. Pre-exhaustion is powerful, but it's not something you want to do every single workout. It's best for hypertrophy phases when the goal is muscle growth and control, not for pure strength sessions. If you're training for heavy squats, deadlifts, or numbers in general, skip it that day because you'll be too fatigued to perform it at your max. Instead, you've got to use it strategically. When a muscle group lags behind, when you want to shock the system or break a plateau, or when you just want to get a crazy pump and feel that mind-muscle connection like you've never felt before. So the key is smart program, not just adding fatigue for the sake of it. So next leg day, start with the leg extension before going into your big compound lifts. You'll use less weight, but your quads will be on fire. If you found this video beneficial, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, and watch this next video. Oh, I'm dead.